Hey everybody, this is Izzy here. Welcome to another edition of the Cinema Dojo. I am Izzy, as you are well aware of, and this is my review of the 2019 Jumanji The Next Level, the sequel to Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle. As everyone's well aware of, Jumanji is the loose sequel, if you will, to the 1996 classic that starred Robert Williams with the same name. And I remember when I first heard that Jumanji was receiving this loose sequel that wasn't going to include Robert Williams, I was very hesitant because, again, how do you top what Robert Williams did? And Jumanji is one of the greatest films ever made. It's a classic. When I watched the Jumanji Welcome to the Jungle, I was very surprised at how good it was. I mean, initially I didn't watch it immediately. I had to watch reviews and read reviews in order to really get a good and proper gauge on what I was walking into when the film was released. And much to my surprise, I enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun, exciting, hilarious, and it just hit you on all the right levels. When they announced the sequel and I saw the trailer, I knew immediately that it was going to be something special because you had The Rock doing either the best or worst impression of using the Danny DeVito's voice. Do you have Kevin Hart using the whole Danny Glover voice? It's just, I knew right from the get-go that, once again, we're going to experience something special here. There's a certain level of magic here that is definitely going to entice people to watch this one in particular. Basically, the overall plot of this film is that you have the gang, with that were attached to their avatars in the first film. They're out and about doing their own thing, living their own life, and then they find themselves back into the game again. But the game is different this go around. From what you saw in the trailer, it is busted, and there's new and different mechanics that they have to go through, and obviously there's a lot of switching around at this point. And that is where the film actually succeeds in being funnier than the first film. Now you're probably wondering, how in the world can you be fun? How in the world can this film be funnier than the first go around? I have to say, I understand where you're coming from, because when it comes to certain comedies, it's very hard to be funnier than what came before, and to have witty dialogue and brilliant interactions that surpass what came before. You have to. It takes a very unique level of talent, and Kevin Hart. One reviewer stated that Kevin Hart and Jack Black steal the show. Absolutely, they are without a doubt the highlights of this film. You cannot get any more funnier than them. They are what propel this story into being actually funny, if not just as funny than the first film. Just the way they interact with one another and their reactions just make it that much more special. And seriously, watch it. If you watch it for anything else, if you don't want to watch it for anything else, if you just happen to just say, you know what, I'm going to watch it because, I watched the previous Jumanjis, you have to watch it for Jack Black and Kevin Hart. I mean, they are by far, they are just entertaining on a whole nother spectrum in this film. The Rock, with his performance as Spencer's grandfather, is just, oh my god. He is absolutely amazing as well. And I could watch The Rock for 2 hours do nothing but talk like Danny DeVito. Just brilliant all across the board. Jumanji Next Level, I have to say, it was very good. I was very entertained. I did not feel disappointed. I did not feel bored. It's a lot different compared to the first film because, again, I don't want to get too detailed, as I feel that anything other than what I'm talking about right now, I have to be completely honest. I have to be vague, because anything that differentiates or deviates from what I'm normally known for as far as my reviews are concerned will enter into spoiler territory. And most people are very well aware of, I want to keep my reviews as spoiler free as possible. With that said, Jumanji The Next Level, it's still essentially the same film, the same story, but it's different enough to where it doesn't feel old hat. It doesn't feel as if you're treading the same waters over and over and over again. There's still a different type of film, and they actually enter into more of a serious and darker realm with this one, if that makes any sense. Especially towards the end, where it does get a lot more sentimental and emotional, and there are a lot of dark moments in this film. I have to say that's a kind of an interesting trend that I've been noticing with a lot of these children, family-friendly films, where they're still funny, but it does get dark, and it does get a bit depressing to a degree, and it kind of makes you think about there's certain elements of your life where you just find yourself thinking, wow, you know, this is a feeling I can relate to. This is something that I've experienced in the past. This is something that I know that somebody has experienced in the past, and it just really hits you in your soul. And that's where Jumanji, the next level, really succeeds in terms of managing to not only incorporate exciting adventure action, but it also manages to include great comedy. But on top of that, it does get very sentimental on top of all that brilliant incorporation of those specific elements. And I have to say, I enjoyed it. I mean, I loved every single second of Jumanji: The Next Level. It was fun, it was entertaining, it was exciting, it was adventurous. It just really provides you that perfect, brilliant, and magical sense of escapism that doesn't leave you feeling as if that you wasted your time. And the cast with Jack Black, The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Karen Gillan, they have one of a kind chemistry with one another. The interactions just make it that much more special, especially when you have, you know, the whole fish out of water concept that always typically makes for great comedy, and it just does a brilliant job at setting up, at more or less still being the same film, but also managing to do something different with this concept. And I loved every single second of it. It was entertaining. I do intend on watching it again. Just an all-around entertaining film where you just can't take your eyes off the screen. You have to watch this film. You have to really give it a shot, because if anything, once again, you have to watch it with Kevin Hart and Jack Black. They absolutely shoot the film into a different type of stratosphere that I have yet to see as far as comedy is concerned, and they just take it to the next level. And it's almost as if they're constantly trying to one-up each other as far as you can kind of tell it was a lot of improv going on, and you also can tell that there was more of a kind of a friendly competition with one another, where they just are attempting to find ways to be that much more over the top and finding ways to match each other's energy, and it succeeds with that. The writing is amazing. The acting is brilliant. There's a lot of great character moments and heartfelt, sentimental moments that really just hit you in the soul. I can't stress enough how much I recommend this film. I mean, seriously, you have to watch it. Just one minor, it's not a huge revelation. It's not a big detailed spoiler, but I will say that do stay for the credits. Stay during the credits, because there is an interesting. There's an interesting inclusion that is going to make you feel that much more anticipated for what might happen, for what might occur. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Either way, I have to say Jumanji: The Next Level, 2 thumbs up, a 5 out of 5. Go watch it. My next review will be Richard Jewell. I intend on watching that tomorrow, and that review will be uploaded most likely immediately afterwards. Either way, I have to recommend Jumanji: The Next Level. Go watch it. Anyone who hasn't watched Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, and maybe you're trying to watch this going in blind, I will suggest that you do have to watch Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle. That way, you could more or less be up to speed for what you're experiencing as far as the cinematic feature is concerned. But either way, you won't be disappointed with the film. I promise you. It is by far the funniest and most likely kind of the darker of the series at the moment, and depending on what the future may hold, it may get a little bit darker. With that said, either way, go watch it. 5 out of 5, 2 thumbs up, and I will see you all again, my friends. And once again, we are getting ready to exit the Cinema Dojo. Let me know in the comment section what you thought about the film. If you get a chance to watch it, provide a like. Either way, I hope to hear from you guys, and you will be hearing from me again tomorrow night with my review of Richard Jewell. Take care, my friends, and peace out.